Hey cuties! So today, I'm sorry that I'm not wearing any makeup at all right now. I literally just got home and it is 4:09 p.m. Usually I have a video already filmed at like 10 a.m. or something. So I've just been on the go all day and all night actually since like 1 a.m. I haven't slept. I went to bed at 10 and then I woke up at 1 a.m. And I don't know if you guys watched the vlog that we posted yesterday. There's a fly in my house and he's really bothering me. I gotta get him after this. So if you see him flying around, that's it. Or him, not it. Well, it might be an it. Anyways, I'm sorry that I don't have a beauty video up. I was actually just gonna film a beauty video and post it, but things are just getting too crazy and I've just had a very, very stressful day. So this is gonna be sort of a sit down update what's been happening the last day. We got our kitty. We're still not sure what the name is, but I keep calling him Shugs, and I've been calling him Shugs for like even before I got him, so I'm pretty sure that is gonna be his name. Sorry, I'm gonna move the camera like a little bit like that. So I'm pretty sure that will be his name, but we're not 100% yet. He is sleeping right now. I just fed him and played with him for a bit, so he is sleeping there. If you guys want to see him in action or us with him and him playing, then that vlog will be down below for you guys, and it was filmed yesterday. So let me give you guys the scenario. So if you follow our vlog channel, you know that our cat was diagnosed with a virus, which is called a feline viral rhinotracheitis. It's such a big long name, but basically it's an upper respiratory virus, and it is very common among cats. They just have like flu-like symptoms and they will carry the virus for their whole life, but they will show symptoms whenever their body chooses. So they could never show symptoms. They could just when they're kittens, sometimes when they're older, or if they get into something that they shouldn't be eating, then they could show symptoms as well. So it basically just depends, or they could show symptoms their whole life and always show symptoms. It's just depending on that specific cat. So I was told about this before I bought him, researched it, talked to my vet. My vet said, yes, it's very common. When it does flare up, there are certain medications that can calm it down and bring down the symptoms, but nothing can cure it. And when I was told about it, and something like 80% of cats have it, I don't know if that number is accurate, somebody just said that to me, and I had no problems with it because it's not something that is really that bad if it's that common. And so I accepted him. I picked him up yesterday actually from the vet. She met me in the parking lot, the breeder did. She met me in the parking lot with all the other kittens and released him to me, and I was so happy. She gave me his eye drops because he has a corneal ulcer on his right eye, and that was because of this virus. It caused it because his virus is a little bit worse than the average virus symptoms. Does that make sense to you guys? So like even if a cat shows the symptoms, his is just a tad worse. It's not like life-threatening or really, really bad. It's just a little bit worse. So I got the drops, I put them in his eye, and I have been reading the directions and putting the drops in his eye. And his eye is not really a problem. I don't think he can really see out of it, but it will go away just over time. And we're playing like normal, eating normal food, water, sleeping regularly. I was feeding him exactly what the vet said, how many times a day, everything was perfect. And then we went to sleep. First of all, people are gonna ask when I got him. I got him around like 2:30. So for many, many hours, he was perfectly fine, healthy. We're not healthy, I guess, because with this virus, you're not healthy, but as healthy as he could be, he was. And then we brought him home perfect. And then when we went to sleep, so I went to sleep at about 10 p.m., like I said, and I just was going to sleep like normal, and it was you guys have to know that it was his first night away from his mother. So when an animal is first away from his mother or her mother, they're gonna be a little timid and more prone to diseases and more shy than they normally would be because they're now independent and not with their mom and their brothers and sisters. So I knew all this and I kept him close. I gave him a little bed. I made him up a little bed on my bed and I put it in the corner so that I could sleep and not crush him, because I'm always worried about rolling over and crushing like Cooper or him because he's so tiny. He's only like this big. He's just a little kitten. And so I did that, and Dalton came home at around 11 p.m. from hanging out with his friends. The kitten was normal like always, And then we went to sleep, and I woke up at about 1:15, and Shugs was on my neck right here, sleeping on my neck and making like gagging noises. Like, I will try to exactly replay it for you guys. It was like that's exactly the noises that were coming out of this little kitten, and I just went, what the heck is going on? So I had my phone next to me. I googled kitten wheezing because I wasn't sure as to what to type into Google, because it wasn't really gagging at that point. It was more like gasping for air. So I googled it, and then Google basically told me that it is normal for kittens to wheeze, especially if they're in a deep sleep and they're very comfortable. So I said, okay, well, it's a little bit abnormal to me because I've never had a kitten, but I don't want to trust Google, but seems like it's pretty legit, and it's not like life-threatening or anything, or it's not like he's uncomfortable, because he was still sleeping. Like, he wasn't awake, like gasping for air. He was asleep. And I pet him. He woke up for a little bit, went right back to sleep. So I thought, okay, that's fine. I'll closely monitor him. And then I couldn't even go back to sleep. I just had my eye on him, and he was making more noises and more noises. So I couldn't go back to sleep. So I took him down here, and I gave him some kitty milk, not actual milk made for cats. And I gave him some of that. And then when I turned on the light, I noticed his eyes were like completely yellow. Not the whites of his eyes, but he had yellow pus like leaking down all of his eyes, and like so much pus. And I just went, oh my God, what is going on? Is he dying? Like, he's away from his mom for his first night. Can he not be away from her right now? Like, should he have been with her? And am I gonna lose him? And I'm sorry. All these thoughts started running through my head. Sorry, guys. And if you guys follow us, like I said on my vlog channel, we kind of vlog everything. We just brought Cooper to the emergency room like the day before or something like that. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to the emergency room again. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Like, I wasn't. It had nothing to do with me at all. Cooper just had a sickness. Literally, we took him home and he was completely fine. So the emergency room told me that Cooper just had like one of those like sicknesses where you think it's really bad and then it's fine. Like, he pukes everything out and then it's fine. So he didn't really have an emergency. He just was kind of sick for an hour, and then that's it. And then slept for the rest of the day. So I was thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to the emergency room, because also the emergency room, when you rush an animal there, it's not cheap. Like, I had to pay $170 just for the emergency fee. That's not including treatment or like food or medication or anything like that. That's just to get your animal in there. It's $170. So, I mean, I'm not about money. I will pay my last dime for animals or anything that I care about. Money isn't like that for me, but I'm right now selling and buying a house. So I just spent lots for renovations to make the house nice and presentable to sell, as well as down payments on a new house, which is very expensive to put down payments, lawyers, real estate agent fees, mortgage fees. There's just so many, like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fees that I've had to fork out, and then Cooper's emergency fee, and then all my bills like regularly, like my mortgage, my heat, my power, my water, internet, cell phone, like all these things. So I'm not broke at the moment, but I'm like, oh my goodness, like, am I gonna have to take him in and get another $170? And then what if he needs treatment? And this could be like $1,000 bill if it's really bad. So kind of all these things are running through my head. And I don't care about money. I'll go in debt to save an animal or save somebody's life. I'm not about to go in debt, but I'm just trying to make a point here. So I phoned the emergency hotline, or not hotline, the same place that Cooper went. So I phoned there, and it was 1:20 a.m. and I was just wondering, because I know about this virus. I know that he will have goopy eyes when it gets bad or when symptoms show. I know he will have a sneeze. I know it's an upper respiratory problem, so I know that his breathing will be a bit off, but this just seems like not normal to me. So I wanted to make sure that he was okay, or if there was something I could do to make him more comfortable. So that's why I phoned, to make sure he wasn't gonna die on me. And I explained that exactly what I just said to you guys. That's what I told the lady on the phone. Now the lady on the phone is just a dispatch. She will phone the vet at home or something like that, the vet on call, because it's like 1:20 in the morning, and then they will phone me back and kind of discuss and say, yes, you need to go to the emergency room, or no, you can do such and such. So I told her, and she said, okay, I will have a vet phone you in 15 minutes. And I said, perfect, thank you very, very much. And I explained to her that he had this virus and everything, and I know that these are the symptoms, but they seem like they're a little bit worse. So I just wanted to be sure, right? It's better safe than sorry, and is what I always say. And so I was waiting. It was 1:20, like I said. Then it became 1:30, 1:40, and Shugs was kind of getting a little bit better, I think because he was waking up. So I thought, maybe, is it just, this is what happens when they sleep, or I don't know. Maybe symptoms worsen. Maybe it was just too hot in the room. I don't know. So I started Googling more, and they said to get a dehumidifier if the symptoms worsen, so that it kind of purifies the air. And I was like, perfect, we have one. I went downstairs in the basement, got it, brought it all the way upstairs, and that thing's heavy. So I brought it all the way up and plugged it in and started dehumidifying the room. When I first plugged it in, the humidity was at 66%. And I kept him down here because I was just like, I don't even care. I'll stay up all night if I have to wait down here because it's not that bad down here. And when I went up there in another 10 minutes, so now it was 2 a.m., the humidity was already at 50%. So it already had started soaking it up. We have a very good dehumidifier, and that's why I put the tweet out today, or it would be yesterday for you guys. That's why I did the tweet about I love dehumidifiers. They work so well because his symptoms started getting better just from that dehumidifier. I mean, he still had the goopy eyes and the like struggling to breathe almost, and the vet still hadn't phoned me back by 2. So I brought Shugs back upstairs, and he was actually doing okay. He was breathing normally at this point, or how he did when I brought him home, and I wiped away the goop out of his eyes, and he was starting to be better. So I was there, and it was like 2 a.m. He fell asleep, and I fell asleep, but I had my ringer on so that if they would phone me, I would have woken up in a second, and I had it on the highest setting. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. So I guess I did sleep for another few hours, but like dozing off, like I wasn't fully asleep because I was keeping an eye on him and he was fine. But I woke up at 4:30 a.m. and I heard the same struggling to breathe, and I just right away just jumped up. I was like, oh my God, it's 4:30. I missed the call. They didn't even phone me yet. It was 4:30 a.m. This is an emergency vet line, and they still hadn't phoned me. Like, are you kidding me? So I jump out of bed, I grab him. He's my first priority. So I have the cell phone, I'm already phoning, and have him in my hands, and I go and get some fresh air immediately. So we're outside, it's not cold, it's not hot outside, it's like the perfect temperature, and right away he loves it. Like, he's starting to breathe a little bit, but still struggling. So I'm waiting to phone, they pick up, and I said, hi, like, it's been like 3 hours and you still haven't phoned me back yet. Like, this is an emergency. I don't know if it is. Like, that's why I phoned. I said, oh, so sorry. I'll have to phone the vet again and wait another 20 minutes and all this. So I waited another 20 minutes. They still didn't phone me back. So I phoned again. And I said, like, I just need to know if this is an emergency. Can you please just help me, or should I just bring him in? Should I just bring him in? Like, I can just be there in like 5 minutes. Like, can I just bring him in? Is it something that's serious? Because I don't know. And she said, well, we don't know. The vet actually isn't even answering their phone. So I just went, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay up with him. If he gets really bad, I'm going to take him in, or I'm just going to wait for his vet to open, because his vet opens very early in the morning, like 6 o'clock. And by this time, it was like 5:30. So I only had to wait about a half an hour for the vet to open. So that's what I did. I stayed up and I just waited for the vet to open, phoned the vet, explained to them the situation. They said that seems like, because he was really good at this point. He was almost fine. He wasn't breathing nearly as bad. He didn't have the goopy eyes. He just had watery eyes, kind of just like how I brought him home. But he was breathing a little different than when I brought him home, but way better since the last night. So they told me that their appointment would be at 2:30. I said thank you, hung up the phone, decided no, I want it earlier and I will do whatever to get him in earlier. So I phoned and they got me in within an hour. So they got me in place of appointments. So this person had an appointment, this person had an appointment. They just kind of squeezed me in there, which I really appreciated because I was pretty devastated on the phone and they could tell. So, I mean, because I don't know if these are just regular symptoms. And somebody on Twitter said that they don't like me anymore because I over-exaggerate. Here, let me get the tweet. Wow, this person is now, I'm looking at their Twitter, calling me a bitch now, saying that their kitten had it and it was only 3 weeks old. All cats and kittens are different. The litter of kittens, her mom had 5 kittens, I think 5? Yes, 5. And all of them obviously had the virus. One was very bad. Like they were thinking she was gonna get pneumonia. So this one was very bad and had to be on serious antibiotics. 2 of them were perfectly fine. They didn't even show symptoms at all, like at all. They had the virus, they didn't even show it. And then the other 2, which was mine and another one, showed symptoms, and they had watery eyes, and they were just, you know, had the symptoms showing. So all cats, when they have it, will react differently. I'm not saying that her cat is one of the ones that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I wasn't sure of my cat's sickness and how serious it was. So I'm not just gonna sit back and be like, he just has this symptoms, because she said, the vet told you it's common, yet you freak out over it. I never freaked out. Did I freak out, you guys, on Twitter? Absolutely not. I used to be a fan of yours, but now you overreact to everything now. I would not overreacting. You guys just heard the whole entire story. Was I overreacting? Like, my cat could barely see because there was white goo like going all over his eyes and breathing like this. Is that overreacting? If I was overreacting, I'd be like, oh my God, like freaking out and rushing him and being like, I need in here first, and like freaking out. That's not what I was doing at all. I was actually being very mature and just reacting to the situation and being like, I need to know what's going on. I need to know if I can bring him in. I need to know if it's an emergency. I'm pretty sure that is pretty normal, mature, and respectful for my cat. So I don't know why she would just say that. That just goes to show that you need to not just assume anyone's situation, or just because you had one thing happen to you, or she had this kitten who had the exact same disease, like it's very common. Not all kittens are gonna show the exact same symptoms. Some are gonna be much worse and much better. So that you just can't judge and not know. Like if you would have seen this kitten last night, it probably would have broke your heart. And I was just being a good mom and trying to look after my baby. And I don't see why now I'm getting hate. Now I'm a bitch. Now I'm this and that. And I was like, now she's clapping for me because my true colors just shown. Oh, I don't like to dwell on haters, but that just was very heartless to me, and somebody who can just quickly judge so quickly oh, I said quickly so many times, when they didn't even see the kitten's condition. They don't even know what I'm overacting to because they never seen it. So that was just heartless to me. So when the vet, my camera's flashing so it might die, the vet took a look at him and said, wow, he looks bad. That was her first thing that came out of her mouth, and I just went, like, just, that's all I did. I was like, oh my goodness. And then she brought him in, said that he looked pretty bad, and I said, really? Because you should have seen him last night. He was probably twice as worse. And she checked his lungs. She said his lungs actually seem good. He's not developing pneumonia, so that's a good thing. She checked all of his organs, his stomach and everything, and she said that he was very, very clogged in his nose, extremely clogged. And she wiped away his eyes, showed me some massaging techniques to get away the mucus, and prescribed him 2 different medications. If I was overreacting, he would be prescribed 0 and it would be just fine and symptoms of the virus. But his symptoms were a lot worse than the regular symptoms. I was told the exact symptoms to look out for before I have to rush him. So no, I didn't have to rush him to the emergency room at that point. So that's a good thing. Thank goodness, that's all I wanted to know. But now I know what to look for before I have to rush him to the ER. He's on 2 medications right now. So he took one of them just a few hours ago, and he's sleeping right now. That's why he's over there. He's sleeping, passed out, enjoying his day right now. But he is getting a little better, not much, but his breathing is a lot better. So I'm gonna closely watch him tonight. I don't think I'll be getting much sleep again because I'll just be keeping an eye on him. Maybe I'll need to sleep down here on the couch with him just because it's very hot and humid up there. Even with the dehumidifier going, it's still really, really muggy up there. So maybe that's what it was. She couldn't tell me. She said it could be absolutely nothing to do with anything and just his body reacting to being away from his mother. So that is just the update on that. Thank you guys for like all the sweet comments and for the thumbs up and just sweet things. And you hear that? He's sneezing pretty loud right now. Honey. He's okay, he's just sleeping, but he just had a sneezing spill right there. But I will let you guys know and give you an update on our vlog channel about how he's doing. But right now he's like probably 5 times better than last night. So I'm sorry I didn't get a beauty video up, but this is a video in itself, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I've just been so stressed out about moving, buying a house, selling a house, kittens, my dog going to the ER, my kitten going to the ER, sicknesses. And I just still want to, you know, be there for my boyfriend and for my family and for my brother and for my mom, and still be there for you guys and make videos. So I'm just a little bit stressed right now. And thank you guys for being so sweet with everything and all your kind words. And I truly appreciate it. I'm not gonna cry. I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate it. And it's hard to go through so much in like a few days and have everything kind of like bottled up and on the go, and I can't be home and I can't sit down, and just so much. And I hope something good comes about this soon. So I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.